Now, you know what? I don't even drink. But if they indict punk-ass Donald Trump and slap some cuffs on him and fingerprint him, you know, Scott Bolden and Robert, I might pour a drink, because it might be party time. So y'all know what's going on. So the Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg, they are already preparing. Y'all got the video? They setting up barricades all around the court. And Republicans are losing their damn mind. Lord, they are upset. They are in their feelings, mad and just upset, hollering and screaming, saying this is grossly unfair, this is not right, and all this sort of stuff. You should have heard Jim Jordan. He's even sent, y'all, he sent a letter. He sent a letter to Alvin Bragg demanding that he come testify before Congress to know that any federal resources. Listen to this fool on Fox.
We sent this letter to Mr. Bragg saying, we want to talk to you. We want to know what's going on here. We want to see the communications that have taken place between the federal Justice Department and your district attorney's office there in Manhattan. Because understand, Harris, first they went after President Trump on Russia. Then it was a phone call with Zelensky. Then they wanted his tax returns. Then they go after his business records. Then they go after his children. And now it's some misdemeanor alleged bookkeeping error that they're going to. And this is from the prosecutor who initially didn't want to do this. In fact, he had people resign because he wasn't going to do this because no one else will bring this case. I mean, the DOJ didn't bring the case. The Federal District of New York didn't bring the case. The previous prosecutor in the district there in Manhattan didn't bring the case. Mr. Bragg himself didn't want to bring the case. But then he got pressured, I think, from the left. And I would say this, the one thing that has changed, the one thing that I think has changed his mind is President Trump announced he was going to run for president again. And suddenly here they go. Now they're coming after him for some alleged bookkeeping error. You've got to be kidding me. So we want to know what kind of federal involvement may have taken place here. And we want to know, did this stem from the Mueller special counsel investigation getting to this point as well? We want to talk to Mr. Bragg. We're asking him for the communications he's had with the federal government. We're asking him to come in and testify. We'd like an answer by Thursday of this week.
All right, real quickly, if federal dollars were used then by
I ain't trying to listen to nobody who ignored a subpoena and now you want to demand somebody show the hell up. So Congressman Jim Jordan go to hell. All right, so now you heard him talk about the alleged. Nobody even knows if Trump gets indicted or why he gets indicted. Want to know? See the same thing? Here's this fool, Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, being asked about it, and listen to this dumbass answer.
I've seen rumors swirl. I have not seen any facts yet, and so I don't know what's going to happen. But I do know this, the Manhattan District Attorney is a Soros-funded prosecutor. And so he, like other Soros-funded prosecutors, they weaponize their office to impose a political agenda on society at the expense of the rule of law and public safety. He has downgraded over 50% of the felonies to misdemeanors. He says he doesn't want to even have jail time for the vast, vast majority of crimes. And what we've seen in Manhattan is we've seen the crime rate go up, and we've seen citizens become less safe. And so you're talking about this situation with, and look, I don't know what goes into paying hush money to a porn star to secure silence over some type of alleged affair. I can't speak to that. But what I can speak to is that if you have a prosecutor who is ignoring crimes happening every single day in his jurisdiction, and he chooses to go back many, many years ago to try to use something about porn star hush money payments, you know, that's an example of pursuing a political agenda and weaponizing the office. And I think that that's fundamentally wrong.
I'm confused. I thought you said you didn't know any details about the case. So what the hell are you talking about? You had no details. But then also, oh my God, this whole crime going up. In fact, Trump's Vice President Mike Pence tried the same BS on ABC This Week with John Carl. Listen to this fool.
As I'm sure you've seen, Donald Trump is saying that he's going to be indicted on Tuesday. He's calling for people to protest. Now, we don't know if that's true. The Manhattan DA has not said anything about it. but he's calling for people to protest. Is that irresponsible?
Well, first, let me say I'm taken aback at the idea of indicting a former president of the United States at a time when there's a crime wave in New York City. That the fact that the Manhattan DA thinks that indicting President Trump is his top priority, I think, just tells you everything you need to know about the radical left in this country. It just feels like a politically charged prosecution here, and I, for my part, I just feel like it's just not what the American people want to see. We got real challenges in this country today, John. People are facing record inflation, a crisis at our border. We have war in Eastern Europe. The American people are anxious about the future. And here we go again, back into another politically charged prosecution directed at the former president of the United States. And I would just hope for better.
I'm still confused. You don't know no details, but it's politically charged. Oh, it's the radical left. I thought these were law and order people. There's a sign above the Supreme Court that said it's etched in the stone, equal justice under law. Alan Dershowitz was on one of them shows, and he was Newsmax probably. He was complaining. He was saying that that Donald Trump is being treated differently than everybody else. Yes, because his punk ass has not gone to prison yet. And then you hear Pence goes, "Oh, this is indicting a former president." I'm sorry. Does anybody remember Spiro T. Agnew? What? Wasn't he an actual vice president? And his ass got indicted? I guess I'm the one who can read a history book. So please show me anywhere in the Constitution where it says a former president that does some wrong shit can't get indicted. That's literally what these people are saying. Oh, because he's a former president, there's a shield that he gets that nobody else gets. Okay. Scott Bolden, attorney here in D.C., Robert Patillo, Jones as well, attorney as well. That's what's just cracking me up, Scott, this notion that, oh, because he's a former president, he's untouchable. That whatever he did, that as if there's, statute of limitations doesn't exist, that there's no wrongdoing, that no one should do anything to him. And, forget the fact that Letitia James got a guilty verdict about the Trump organization cheating on their taxes. Forget that other people have been arrested and gone to prison for falsifying documents and lying about income and assets on loan papers. Other people have actually gone to jail. You know what? All those things don't apply to Donald because he's special.
Well, Alvin Bragg is telling you that he's not special, one. Two, there's no law that says a former president can't be indicted for a felony or even a misdemeanor. Spiro Agnew was the former governor of Maryland and was indicted while he was in office, I believe. Just a slight correction.
The vice president of the United States.
Right, vice president of the United States. Maryland, it was either the Maryland feds, I think it was Maryland state prosecutor who indicted him. But the bottom line is this, all of this media coverage, you're doing it, just comes from Donald Trump saying, I expect to be arrested on Tuesday. That may or may not be the case. I think the government, Bragg, has waited because the investigation never stopped, notwithstanding the book from the prosecutor who resigned and said, here's the case against Donald Trump. I think he's been over backwards. They're putting defense witnesses into the grand jury, which is unheard of. When Marilyn Mosby was indicted, we found out about the indictment despite our outreach to them the same time the press did, after the indictment was voted by the grand jury. So here they want to get it right. They're putting defense witnesses in, which almost never happens, if you will. They've got a problem with their lead witness, Cohen, who's a convicted felon and has got an axe to grind. And so I think whether he's a progressive prosecutor or not, he's given Donald Trump every consideration. And don't forget about the indictment that's coming from Atlanta, which I think will be even stronger. But we've never had a president like this before, a former president like this, who is engaged in incredible criminal conduct, whether you believe it was a close case or not, whether it was the Eastern Europe shakedown or inciting a riot. All those people, all of them have been either charged, indicted, pled, or serving sentences and stuff. This may be an unusual situation, but the president, Trump, the former president, is an unusual human being, an unusual bad actor, an unusual criminal that has avoided indictment and prosecution, and the chickens may now finally be coming home to roost.
Hey, the thing that gets, I love this one, Robert. Oh, these Soros-funded DAs. Guess what? Y'all can go to hell with that. I mean, bottom line is this here. I thought these are the law and order people. I thought, oh, everybody should have to abide by the law. What they're saying is, oh, no. Y'all get to abide by the law, not our guy.
Well, look, Roland, a couple things. One, when you hear Republicans say the word Soros funded, what they're actually saying is Jew. Let's just take the pretense off of it. They're saying that these Jewish-funded DAs around the country are far-left liberals, and this is the attack that they put out there as a dog whistle to their racist, MAGA, anti-Semitic base. That anytime you hear them say Soros-funded, they are trying to make that connection to the Jewish community and to the Zionist movement and saying that they are far-left liberals. So let's take the Band-Aid off what they're actually saying. Secondarily, take the clip that you played of Jordan. Take the clip you played of Mike Pence. Take the clip that you played of Ron DeSantis. Take the quote from Dershowitz. Did anybody say Trump didn't do it? Just think back to all the people who are criticizing the prosecution, all the people who are saying that, well, this is a far left-wing, Soros-funded witch hunt, etc. Nobody ever answers the fundamental question of, did Donald Trump pay a prostitute, and then did he...
No, porn star.
No. He was not paying her for her porn star services. He was not paying her to be part of...
Well, no.
He was paying that woman for sexual activity.
It wasn't, okay, my understanding, it wasn't operating as a prostitute. They just simply had sex.
Well, he was not paying. He was clearly not paying her for her porn star service.
No. He was paying. Okay, the allegation is that he was paying hush money for her not to reveal that they had an affair.
Okay, so Donald Trump pays a woman who has sex with people for money. Let's just say that.
No. Hold up. I don't know if it was being established anywhere she was a prostitute.
She literally has an escort page up right now.
Well, hold up, no, but escort don't mean you're a prostitute. I'm just saying, I mean, we ain't throwing stuff out, just saying that. So again.
Okay, a woman who's in the profession of having sex with people for money, either on film or off film, was given $130,000 by a then private citizen, and then that money was intended to cover up for her not making statements with regards to the...
And this was a couple days before the election, so this...
But then this gets to the kind of the meat of the case, which is, so then thereafter, Donald Trump won used campaign funds to pay this woman for her silence with regards to the sexual activity they did. Then secondarily falsified business documents with relation to that money that was paid, and then tertiarily reported that to the government in a campaign finance violation. So you have the misdemeanor tampering with documents and incorrect business records, but then that's upgraded to a felony when it's in connection with the campaign finance violation, which no one has said President Trump didn't do. Of all the people defending President Trump, they may say, well, it was 7 years ago. They may say, well, this is just a misdemeanor. They may say, well, why are they going after him when there's other stuff going on? No one has just simply said President Trump did not have sex with this woman for money and did not pay her to be quiet. And I think that gets to the fundamentals of the case, which is they feel President Trump should just be allowed to, because of his wealth, because of his power, because of his position, get away with laws that do not apply to other people. And as you say, from the law and order party, that is very rich. And I can't get over the fact that DeSantis and Pence both kind of pushing that idea, because both of them are trying to appeal to right-wing evangelical Christian voters. Mike Pence and DeSantis both want to make the point of reminding people Donald Trump is having sex with unsavory women outside of wedlock, and we may not criticize him for it, but we're going to make sure you remember it.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland at RolandSMartin.com.